What's going on, Taurus? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal month so far. You're getting pumped, Taurus. Well, this one might be a trickier season for you, Taurus. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Taurus. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why, Taurus, because it is Celestial News Monthly. I know, I really kind of bring it for this monthly spread. I mean, how could you? It's seriously my favorite time of the month. But, Taurus, with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energy. So I got your back, Taurus. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading with a situation, okay? So with all that being said, I'm trying a new thing, Taurus. Let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Taurus. Now, Taurus, I have Zodiac Oracle cards here with each of the signs that the sun and the planets are in. I'm going to pull an Oracle card from this deck for each one of them, which is a newer one. I've been enjoying it, and hopefully you will too. And I will be pulling tarot cards to get some more details with it. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the deck... I love that. Another sign did that. I want to say it was Libra, but well, no, not Libra. One of the signs. But we'll talk about it in a second. I've included links for them, Taurus. Stay on point, Taurus. I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching, Taurus, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you would really enjoy them. But before we check out this energy, which was very well planned for you, Taurus, let's talk about the energy that Scorpio is, or the party that Scorpio is throwing with their energy. Because you have the sun that's going to be entering Scorpio, Mercury is going to be entering a day before, and then one of their rulers, Mars, is going to be chilling there till a little after Sag season. But with the sun is going to be entering Scorpio on the 23rd of October, and that'll be about 12:21 in the afternoon Eastern time. And then we'll be there through the 22nd of November. And with this energy, Taurus, this is a great energy for introspection. And, you may notice a heightened sense of, reflection, because Scorpio deals with that really kind of deep type of energy. They're known to be able to pull things from the depths and bring them to light. So this is a great energy for just kind of meditating and focusing on all the ways that you want to change there, Taurus. But you may notice, too, that there is a bit of a more emotional intensity that comes with the sign as well, because Scorpio is considered the most intense sign of the zodiac. They do feel to such a real deep degree. So we just want to be mindful about getting kind of caught up in really letting any one emotion or maybe even many bring you down to get you just kind of trapped in the depths of the ocean there, Taurus. But the really nice thing about this energy is that there's a greater ability to bounce back from challenges. So this is really great for facing any kind of adversity or any sort of fears head on, because Scorpio being ruled by both Mars and by Pluto, gives them they're very powerful energy, very resilient sign. So work with those energies. And then you may also notice too, Taurus, you might be drawn to the taboo, maybe the mysterious, want to dabble into the occult side, maybe want to do some scrying there, maybe get in touch with the spirits, maybe even do a little tarot there, Taurus. Do some research, but definitely a great time for you to kind of tap into that more type of mysterious energy. And then you have Mercury that's going to be entering on the 22nd of October, and then we'll be there through the 10th of November. And with this is a great time of depth and of intimacy. I feel like Mercury in Scorpio is a very kind of a very observant kind of placement for Mercury, because Scorpio can be a little secretive until I think you really get to know them, and then they're just kind of really sort of like analyzing your energies, and they're like the detectives of the zodiac. So it's a very great energy too, even just thinking about that for like research and things along those lines. But this is a very effective energy as well for discussing relationships and finances and even mortality. Because, Scorpio is that energy of, after Libra season, once you form that one on one relationship, Scorpio takes those relationships to that next level, that deeper, deals with like joint finances, yes, joint finances, shared assets, and even wills and things. So, just another thing to think about there. And then lastly, their ruler Mars is going to be there through the 24th of November. And with this is a very because other than along with Aries, Mars rules over Scorpio and is very at home in this energy. So this gives brings more kind of drive to Mars and brings a little more passion, and it's just again very powerful energy for you to kind of face challenges head on. So work with this energy. Now, the trickiness with this energy for you, Taurus, is that depending on where your placements are at, this is forming an opposition with your sign, because Scorpio is the opposite of the zodiac wheel from you. And oppositions do bring about polarities, because you're trying to take two things and fuse those energies together. And, both energies are kind of calling for your attention. And where, we may want to lean into our own energy, we also have to find, we can learn a lot from our opposite signs, where it's like, I feel like where Taurus tends to build and to grow things, Scorpio energy destroys in a sense, and not just like they're just like going around just wrecking things. They're bringing down things that are no longer serving them a purpose, that are hindering them from change. So there's going to need to be that flexibility there, Taurus. And this energy, oppositions. Now, with the Sun and Mercury, these are more kind of neutral energies, so those should be a little more easier to integrate than if you were to talk about Mars, which will need your time of birth, because Mars is kind of moving along in Scorpio right now, just to get that exact opposition, kind of know when that time is. But oppositions usually are, because Mars is considered a malefic planet. But oppositions are usually kind of like either people or situations that kind of force you to make a decision. So trickier energies to work with, but one, if they're, if we work on integrating them, and luckily it's happening in Scorpio, so you got that extra staying power, that perseverance, and you're a persevering sign there too, so you're a strong sign, being Empress ruled. But yeah, just something to just to pay. You know what I'm trying to spit out there, Taurus. Let's get into your card here, because that's really appropriate for it to come out with Scorpio, because you have the change card. And I feel like this is going to be really kind of important for you, I feel, not even just because of the energies that you have, the planets that you have going on. I mean, Uranus has probably been wreaking havoc in your sign for the last 8 years, depending on when your placements are at. And then you got Jupiter in Taurus that's thinking about that long-term security. But again, Scorpio deals with that energy of change. And it's paying attention to those things, Taurus, that you may be really kind of clinging on to, that is keeping you from reaching to that next level, from you growing into your highest vibration. So just pay attention if there's any sort of, this could be maybe even any number of vices, maybe we're needing to learn something, and we're going to get into actually talk about your energy next. But just paying attention to the changes and the signs that your higher self is trying to lead you, because this change is giving me kind of tower moments, but not in like, towers are not bad cards. Towers are like those epiphanies where it's just like, you feel that discomfort, like, okay, something needs to give. And if it's only when we ignore the tower moments and not, try to, when we stubbornly kind of hang on to something and continue to persist despite knowing that it's lowering our vibration or forming obstacles, that's when towers get uncomfortable. And that's when things start rocking. Because I feel usually higher self likes to keep tower moments and changes. Like they want us to take that initiative ourselves. But we do have free will. But know that with free will, with every actions that we make, positive, negative, there are consequences to them, whatever that means. So I feel like this change is really sort of asking you, and I feel like it's very appropriate, again, being in Scorpio season. In what ways can we form, or what ways can we transform, and what old things do we need to let go? It's like I'm getting a combination of like the Death card, the Eight of Cups, the Tower, those types of energies that are coming through there, Taurus. But get some, let's get some tarot on this and get some details. Oh, all right. Alright, Taurus, let's see what's going on here. Oh, there's a... Oh, alright, Taurus. Interesting. Alright, so you have the Five of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Sun, the Devil, the World, and the Page of Swords here. And, it's interesting with this Page of Swords, Taurus, because I feel like that this energy is giving me, some things that we're going to be thinking about is like where your mindset is at. Like what certain ideas have we been clinging on to that may have been, maybe we formed like almost like a toxic attachment to. This could be, just any sort of way of living. This could be, though, the devil does cover vices, whether this be drugs, sex, alcohol, gambling, maybe any sort of overindulgence, so apply that to your situation. And I feel like with the sun, it's like in order to get this happiness, because the sun is the happiest card of the deck, but in order to get to that sunlight, the sun, we need to see the things clearly, let the sun shine in as far as like what is it that we need to get rid of. And some things that maybe it's like we've told ourselves that, because the Five of Cups is, it's like it's this energy of kind of spilling, like focusing on, it's like focusing on the things that we need to let go, that we form this ideas that we need, that, maybe these were like, let's say for example, if we're like, this is drinking, for example, it's like maybe we feel like we won't be any more fun anymore, or we won't be able to do this, or, we won't have this confidence in things, feeling this disappointment. But this, there, while we're focusing on all the negative things, there are two new cups that are forming up here, new opportunities for you that could potentially even lead to more growth and really kind of change your world there, Taurus. But in order to get to this world and get, to kind of close out this chapter here, there's a need for, because the world card is Saturn energy, and this is an energy of, Saturn deals with discipline and, structure. Saturn can be a bit of a hard ass when he's asking you for change and for growth. And I like that too, even just kind of realizing that, because the devil is Capricorn energy. Saturn rules over Capricorn along with Aquarius. But I do feel like that this is something that if you were to, this achieve or this change is something that is within your grasp, because Capricorn, they are the achievers of the zodiac. We're one of the hardest working signs. But with any sort of devil situation, anything that we give a lot of power to, especially, where we feel like we think that we really need something, or, that just kind of really kind of leaned on, really started to lean on something. It's hard work, but it is possible work. But if sometimes I feel like if we focus on just the hard all the time, then that makes it not so, it just makes it just not as, well, not as easy to deal with. But I feel like it's really sort of, when we're in this kind of reflective space, just really kind of thinking about all the things, like how something, I don't want to put this, like again, going back to the drinking one, for example, it's like, sure, you might be having fun in that moment and blah blah blah, all these things, but how are we feeling the day after? We notice that we're feeling a little bloated, is the face looking a little puffy, are we feeling a little nauseous, like what, and it might be fine for a spell, but it's like, how often do we happen to maybe, again, like maybe overindulge in things? Or this could be with, again, maybe with food, it's just like something tastes good in that moment, we get that immediate release, but how is that affecting you long term? Because you know what, that's something to because I think that I'm going to move on from that one there, Taurus, because that's really kind of perfect when we get into talking about your energy next, especially that short term compared to that long term sort of release there. Let's get some tea and let's talk about your energy. Because we got a few things actually going on in your sign. So we've got a little lunar shenanigans. I don't talk about lunar shenanigans that often. That's on my other channel, but we got a special thing happening here because we have a full moon lunar eclipse that's happening in your sign, and then we have. I need to find out what degree. I should have looked up what degree that was before I did yours. So that would have been good to know. I'll tell you before. I'll get it by next week because that'll be okay. Anyway. But yeah, you got full moon lunar eclipse that's happening in your sign, and then Jupiter and Uranus are going to be retrograde, are still retrograde in your sign. Now let's talk about this full moon eclipse first, because that's going to be happening on the 28th of October, and with this is great energy for because your sign, now in more modern terms, considering that, money is a bigger type of thing, yours finances got tied in with your sign, Taurus. So this is a great energy for reckoning old debts, getting finances in order and investing in the right things and people. But on a broader scale, your sign really is one about security, having that stability. And sure, you may want the nicer things in life, but it's just I feel like it's that Venus influence. You want to make sure if you're gonna get something, you want to enjoy it. Why are we gonna go? You necessarily granted we want to be frugal, maybe spend reasonable on some stuff. But if you really find something that you like, that you're going to put into use, not just getting, it's getting like a regular sofa as opposed to getting like one that's like, getting like maybe you know what I'm getting at, Taurus. But this is about thinking, just because eclipses bring about change. And if you've noticed that, again, there are things that are just lowering your vibration, this could be different. And this may not even be just the thoughts that you've carried on towards. This could be the thoughts of others. I'm getting like kind of like a Five of Swords energy that's kind of even coming through with this Page of Swords. Something that may have been kind of not necessarily thrusted upon us, but something that may be an idea that we've sort of adapted as a maxim in a sense. But yeah, just paying attention to the things and the people that you're investing in, Taurus. But also, then with Big Papa Jupiter, he's going to be retrograde until the 30th of December. And with this is great for kind of reevaluating your approach to wealth, investments, and to material comfort. And if you're having troubles, if you're noticing that you're having troubles with these things, this could even starting to look for like different advice on those things, maybe finding like experts in these fields, mentors, or just any sort of one who has like an expertise on this. But also when you think about Jupiter energy, Jupiter is a very abundant planet, but the trickiness with Jupiter is that he doesn't discriminate with what abundance looks like. So if you're in a lower vibration, then that's what we're going to get a lot of, low vibrations, and then vice versa. But not vice versa. Or on the other end, positive vibrations, positive abundance. But it is thinking about those things like, if we're focusing on just those like kind of short term, kind of quick releases, quick dopamine fixes, that may work out for a spell, but is that really sustainable long term? And that's what Jupiter is asking you, and then thinking about how we can make those more kind of positive effects last for the long term, really invest in putting in that hard work with the devil, because again, the devil's not meant to just bring you down and just lower your vibration. It's meant to she's trying to put those things in your face to hey, do you like this way of living? Do you like this, where this is going? Is this really what you want your world to look like? So that's just something to think about there, Taurus. And then you have Uranus, who's been, Uranus is going to be retrograde until the 27th of of January 2024. And Uranus has been in Taurus, in your sign since about 2018. It's just been wreaking all kinds of havoc. But Uranus is one that is, he's essentially just a wandering tower. He goes through and he's getting us prepped for the future. And if things aren't working out, if the system needs to change, if things are just not working, then Uranus is going to correct that. And Uranus, we still have a couple more years with Uranus, so it's one thing we kind of hang tight in there, Taurus. But you may notice, and you've already noticed, that there have been changes in our currency, in how we need to invest, and even in our economic structures. And one thing too, Taurus, with your sign, you are kind of associated with like the environment, being the fixed earth sign, being as rooted in the earth as you are. You may even have a heightened awareness for like environmental issues, so maybe you may feel compelled to maybe do like a community cleanup, or maybe invest in more sort of like natural energies, get more into like composting, kind of figuring out ways to kind of reduce maybe like your what's that your like your carbon footprint in a sense, and depending on now with Jupiter and Taurus, you're again going to need to know like your time of birth to get like the exact aspect, when this is happening. But depending on where your placements are at, this is forming a conjunction with your sign. And now conjunctions are interesting because there's like the energies, like Jupiter and Uranus are blending with your Taurus placements. Now Jupiter is a benefic planet, so this could be a very beneficial um, blending depending on how you work with this energy. But Uranus is more of a malefic planet, so this one is going to be that could be a tougher integration when it comes to that. And considering that yours too is like kind of a sign of stability, having that sort of rocking, sort of uncomfort, dissonant type of energy can be a little tough. Because technically too, even when you think about that, Uranus rules over Aquarius, which is technically squared to your sign. So of course there's going to be that challenging energy there, and it could bring about some energies of anxiety and things, because it's like you're feeling these changes inside of you. So it's just like, how are you choosing to integrate this fusion that's happening with your placements? We started off with change, Taurus, so just something to be aware of with this energy. But let's get an oracle card on this. Ooh, I see. That's how we're gonna get with the and actually I do really like this, Taurus. This came up for you because you have the creativity card. And Taurus, I feel that this is going to need, with all the changes that have been happening and that will continue to happen, especially going through Scorpio season, there is going to need to be more creative in how we might be dealing with our issues. Whether this, if we're feeling like financially unstable, you might need to get a little creative with that. Maybe again we're reaching some advisors. Maybe we're thinking about investing in like land, investing in different, doing different things with our money. Maybe having them in like, maybe even getting like an additional stream of income, tapping into that creative side of yourself, because that's something too that with your ruler, and we're going to talk about her in a little bit, but with your ruler, there's been a lot of Empress energy going around. And I feel like with Venus getting ready to enter Libra, you really are going to get into a very creative energy, one that brings about balance and harmony and things, because your sign is one, I feel like you really are kind of like an underrated type of creative there, Taurus. Because Venus deals with like beauty and again like harmony, and you are a sign of the senses, very sensual sign, and very elegant, I feel like, as well, to be able to walk in. You really, I feel like how you and Libra channel your Empress energies are very unique, but I love the way that Taurus does it. It's it's very, very earthy, very in tune, and I feel that you can. Where was I going with this? I just wanted to compliment you, Taurus, but I do feel like that. Maybe where I'm going with this, I'm gonna say I think I lost my point from the other one, but with these changes that are coming about, this could bring a lot of anxiety. And maybe one way to even kind of help dealing with this is to tap into that creative side of you and to express yourself, whether this be through art, through dance, through music, through maybe even through like agriculture, maybe doing like some gardening and things, planting some flowers, beautifying the place. Oh, and you know what, Taurus, I kind of remember I was going back with that. I found my point again. But just even when I was thinking about like, because we were talking about different streams of income, tapping into those creative. Now I'm back. But using those abilities to your advantage as well. But you're a very savvy sign, Taurus, because you and Scorpio are, being that you are a sign of being associated with the second house. You're good with your money, Taurus. This is a naturally abundant sign. And you can find, different ways, especially if it's like a financial thing, but just any area that I feel like you may be having trouble with. It's like kind of thinking outside of the box a little bit, getting into that, tapping into that creative type of Empress side. But I do feel too that with the changes that are going on, something that can help you kind of like deal with some of these changes, especially we've been kind of, let's say, Page of Swords, been stressing out and having anxiety and things. That outlet of expression can really have a lot of healing effects on you there, Taurus. But let me get some tarot on this. I like that. All right, Taurus. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you have the Seven of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and then the Ten of Swords here. And with this creativity, I feel that, especially one thing with this, because the Seven of Cups for me can be a prelude to a devil moment, although we just kind of, for some, we just sort of went ahead and skipped that prelude and went straight to the song here. But I feel like we do want to be mindful of how we may be kind of coping with maybe some tougher times that may come up here, Taurus, with the Ten of Swords popping up, because this can be a very difficult card, very one of really a lot of stress that comes through with this. It's gonna be a card of betrayal, kind of hitting rock bottom in a sense, even like kind of getting to like a deep kind of depression, kind of getting in like a just sort of like having enough. This really sort of like mental anguish that's going on there, and I feel like we want to be mindful of, especially if you've been feeling maybe a little burnt out from life, just things have been going on. It's just been really kind of testing your energies. I feel like the Seven of Cups is like finding other avenues of dealing, of like kind of coping with this changes again, because there's so many ways. This could be getting out in nature. Maybe this is, let's see, what do we got through these cups here? Maybe we're creating some jewelry, or maybe we're working with animals. Maybe we're, just maybe you're building. Look at that. We got some roses here. Whatever this is looking like. Maybe planting some gardens, working with the plants. But I feel like it's just like finding healthier outlets, or different ways to kind of tap into your resources in a sense. With this kind of Four of Pentacles being here, as opposed to if we've been indulging in any sort of like escapism or anything along those lines, or maybe our way of coping has gotten leaned into the more kind of unhealthier end. And yeah, just be mindful of that, Taurus. Really, yeah, because even this Nine of Wands, it's even giving me this energy of, especially if you've been feeling kind of depleted, that these sort of like finding different avenues, again, because I think I was just telling, Cancer this, that, when I talk with the earth signs, I feel like that you really do, you're connected with the earth in a very deeper kind of way than the other elements. And I feel like it's been always been geared towards like this, accomplishments and material gain and things along those lines. And where that stuff is important, I get that, not dismissing that at all. There is, I feel like that aspect of, making sure again that we get outside, be in nature. And I feel like for all the earth signs, but I feel like for you in particular, with how, because your senses, I do feel like is more heightened than the other signs. You really do have strong sensory factors. So I feel like, if you can kind of fill that up, let's say if you've been in like, especially if you're one that's kind of like in like a city or something along those lines, just kind of getting out in nature, getting by some water, or sitting underneath the tree, whatever that's looking like, basking just in the air, and really feel like that's because both you and Libra, I think you're the only signs that have gotten this creativity card so far. So, and again, the Empress is in a very creative space being in Libra. So, something to think about there, Taurus. And I feel like even too, one more thing, even just thinking with the Four of Pentacles, because that can be a very rigid card. And I feel like there's a need to be more flexible, and just during this season, just kind of being ready for that, to just having to need to be just a little adaptable with these changes. But let's get some tea, and then let's talk about Mercury again, because Mercury's going to be busy, especially over these next couple seasons. Because you got Mercury that's going to be entering Sagittarius on the 10th of November, and then we'll be there through the 1st of December. And with this energy, Taurus, our thinking may become a little more optimistic, more open-minded, and more expansive. Because Sagittarius are Jupiter ruled, and Jupiter is all about that, especially that expansion, that growing. Jupiter supports that 100%. And you may notice that you're expressing yourself a little more boldly and a little more honestly. So that's something to be mindful of there, Taurus. And you may also, too, maybe even be drawn to travel. Maybe get a bit of wanderlust. Again, maybe if this is like we've been stuck in the city, maybe going to the countryside for a little bit, or just even maybe just making it more of a point to get out. Maybe this is going for a drive, or going for maybe on the transit, getting on a bike, or going for a walk, or run, whatever that's looking like, Taurus. Just kind of getting the body moving and going out, just kind of just going on just a little adventure. Go somewhere you haven't gone. If you have like a typical route that you take for whatever reason, switch it up a little bit. See how that just like switches the brain chemistry some. Get you in a different sort of like creative space there, Taurus. But then also too, this is a great energy for studying, because Jupiter and Sagittarius are all about that higher learning. So this could be, maybe you want to pick up a new course of learning. Maybe you want to learn to, maybe you're an artist, happen to draw a little bit. You want to take that to the next level, or whatever course of learning that you're trying to do there, Taurus. Great energy for that. But let's go ahead and get an oracle card here to see what's going on. Love that. Look at you stinging up with the energies. Because you got the knowledge card here, Taurus. And so, but with this knowledge card, I do feel like that there's something. I almost feel like that there's this energy of just kind of learning more about yourself, Taurus. Kind of, and not that you aren't already interesting, Taurus, but I feel like that with the Seven of Cups here, there's just more to you than I feel like that than that meets the eye. It's just like that maybe we've been kind of just like kind of operating on this same type of wavelength, just been kind of doing the same old thing. And this could be, again, maybe like picking up a new skill. Maybe this change could even be just like, and not necessarily that we're doing like a career change or anything along those lines, but just like even just like picking up a hobby. Maybe you've been curious about pottery, or maybe you've wanted to maybe even get into like maybe like a creative writing, or maybe you want to maybe even like expand your knowledge, considering that this came up with Sagittarius. Maybe you want to expand your knowledge on different cultures, maybe going out to do, I don't know, maybe trying different cuisines, or maybe even picking up a new language. But I feel like it's not just like learning knowledge just for knowledge's sake, though. I do feel like there's like a King of Swords aspect of it. It's just like, how can we learn something, and something that you would be able to integrate? You know, maybe it's just like, maybe you don't, let's say for example, if you do pick up a language, let's say, like, I'm not saying, you know, we're not just like picking up like Cantonese just to learn it. Pick it up because maybe you're planning on doing a trip for it next year. Maybe you want to go to China, or maybe you want to, or whatever this may be, Taurus. Yeah, I love it. I mean, consider, I mean, you have the world here, Taurus. So, you know, it's like broadening your world up some more, you know. And I feel like it's just like, and even feeling with with the Page of Swords being here, you know, the Page of Swords, this always reminds me of Gemini energy. And I always tell Gemini that there's ones I feel like they really benefit from always being curious, you know, always staying, you know, always wanting to, again, not just accumulating knowledge just cuz, but doing things that, you know, can kind of enrich their lives a little bit more, you know, kind of add this little extra flavor to your pot there. I'm not sure what we're cooking up, Taurus, but I'm excited to see. Let's get some. And you know what? Even too, I'm even kind of getting your energy here with like the Hierophant, because maybe for some it's like we're changing this role from, maybe you're evolving from this energy of student and maybe you're getting to teacher. Maybe this could be for some even like sharing your knowledge, you know, bringing a new insight to the world here, Taurus. That would be really dope. Let's see what this energy is about here. Yeah, maybe you want to, and here's something too, Taurus. Even just think with this knowledge, you know, I feel this is not necessarily something that you need to pay for. This could be, you know, maybe learning, watching some stuff on YouTube, or, you know, finding different. There's so many free resources. I feel like, you know, looking up different articles and things. There's so many free resources available, and from the internet, and maybe going to like the library. Thank you. All right, let me grab this card here, Taurus. And let's see what's going on here. Go, look at you, King of Pentacles. All right. Oh, and I told you, Empress energy all over the place. Girl, we gotta stop meeting like this. I'm feel like I'm getting spoiled this week because you. I mean, seriously, she's must have popped up for at least half the signs now. You have the Four of Cups, the Two of Swords, the Two of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Empress. Girl, I don't know how much more I can say about you. Let's start with this Two of Swords here, Taurus. Because with this energy, I almost feel like with the Seven of Cups here, maybe there might be this energy of, with the between the Seven of Cups and the Two of Swords, it's like maybe there's this thing of, it's just like we have been feeling this. You might notice that there is this energy of wanting to grow, of wanting to add on a bunch of things, but there's just like there's so much stuff to learn. You know, like this world has so much to offer. And that's why I feel like the Empress is even kind of getting out. There's like an abundance of things for you, abundance of ways for you to fill up your cups in a sense. And I'm even honestly feeling too, again with this with the King of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, it's like for some it's like we're sharing the knowledge that we have with others in a sense. You know, maybe this is you like maybe writing your own type of book. You know, maybe creating a vlog, or creating some videos, or whatever that's looking like, but. Because it feels, especially if this is an energy where, Taurus, if you feel like that you've been, because the Four of Cups can be almost like a bored type of energy. It's just like that nothing's really doing it for you. You know, just like it's been like the same old stuff. It's like, man, yeah, I tried that before. Or, you know, or what's like oh gosh, another song about this and that. It's just like, why can't there be something new? Well, then Taurus, let's put something new out there. Especially, you know what, then that might be something too. If you find yourself saying that, like, have you ever been where you've been watching something, you see people doing things, you're just like, gosh, I could do that better. Then why aren't you doing it, Taurus? Because here's the thing: if you have said that about someone, doing something where because I'm not one to, I may have an opinion about creativity, but I will never knock anyone for being creative because at least they're doing something, So that's something to think about too, there, Taurus. But if we're not sure, I feel like with all the options, that we can do and what we want to learn, how we want to grow, if we're on that end of it, it's just like go with what you feel, Taurus. Which one, because the twos deal with choices. And it's just like, making decisions. It's just like which one really resonates with you. Which one do you feel like you can pour your heart into that would give you feeling this sense of, because the Empress is very giving energy. She's one that she's not just the act of being beautiful, where the Empress is gorgeous. You're gorgeous, Taurus, but it's about spreading that beauty around, and bringing that into other people's world as well. Let me put this world up here. We're gonna focus on the devil. It's and that's something too, Taurus. It can be, even like these vices and things that can even become like a healthier outlet, and that might even be something too. If we've been struggling with different vices and things like that, finding some different resources in order to overcome this thing, and then become but I feel like this energy for some of you, I do feel like there's something where the King of Pentacles is like kind of like, because the King of Pentacles, probably after the Empress, he's probably one of the most abundant cards in the deck, and he's the type that it's very similar to the Empress. He's just not just about accumulating wealth and just sitting on top of the throne and just like, look at all my resources. No, he wants others to be just as resourceful as him, because it's lonely at the top. So let's make some space. Let's get some room to help others rise up as well. Really, because it's one thing, because fun little fact, Taurus. Where you're lucky enough, you get to just be the Empress and be in your Empress energy all the time. And you're great, and I can too. But my midheaven is in Taurus, where like my career and things. And so I'm aspiring to be an Empress. And I'm slowly getting that figured out. But it's, you can help others. You can maybe help me, Taurus, how to become an Empress. So, and whatever that looks like. So, because apparently it's been going around in the energy, so there's been that we need more Empresses in the world, creating more beauty, bringing more balance, bringing all this harmony. So, I'm with it. I'm probably gonna call your video something along those lines. How to write the book on becoming an Empress 101. Something like that. Never mind, Taurus. But that is gonna be something like your title. We'll see what's going on with that. But since Venus wanted to come out so bad, let's talk about Venus. Because the Empress is going to be in Libra from the 8th of November until the 4th of December. And with this energy, Taurus, there is an increased emphasis on harmony and cooperation and diplomacy in relationships. So if you've noticed that there's been some dissonance in any of these fields where you feel like you can repair these bridges, this is great energy for that, Libra is a very diplomatic sign, and Libra does have a very charming way and a very fair, balanced way of how they approach situations and bringing these, bringing situations to resolution. So really great energy for that. But you may also notice too, since we're talking about that creativity, there may be heightened interest in arts, fashion, design, anything along those lines. So really tap into this energy, get into that creative space, because if I had to think about it, if I had to say, like, probably, like, if I'm thinking like the top 5 zodiacs as far as like creativity goes, you and Libra are definitely in there. And it's not a competition, but you and Libra are definitely in my top 5 as far as like creative signs go. And so really make the most of that. But also too, also too, Taurus. Oh, forgive me for that, Taurus. I felt like I almost got an Empress even looked at me kind of way. But this may even lead to, because Libra, when they're weighing options, sometimes if they can't find a balanced approach, then they won't make a decision at all. And this energy could lead to indecisiveness. So that's just something we want to be aware of as well there, Taurus. But let's get an oracle on this. Oh, this has been going around a little bit too here, Taurus, because you have the Blessed Day card, and with this card, I really feel that when this card pops up, this is about really appreciating all the beauty that this world does have to bring. That it's, because that's where I feel like how abundance keeps popping up and how we can keep that vibration at a high level. Because this is something I've even had started doing over the last maybe few weeks is, when the first thing before, my alarm goes off, before I even look at my phone, anything along those lines, I take a moment and I thank the universe for all the abundance that I've received and that I'm going to receive, and thank my guides for their protection and wisdom and things, and just really kind of get in that positive mindset today. And that I even have gotten I was even talking with someone today. I just got done doing doing some stuff with this new gig that I'm doing, and I was just like, you know what, it's been a blessed day today. Absolutely. I was thinking about this card, and it has been, it's been a blessed life, challenges and all. And I feel like that when you get in that mindset, but when you first wake up to when you're getting ready to wind down, because those are very, that's when we're starting to, when we're waking up, we're just coming out of the subconscious, getting out of that dream world. The energies are still kind of linked, we're kind of reconnecting with the material world, the earthly realm again. And before we're going to sleep, we're getting ready to drift back into that subconscious. So it's like what are you filling that space with? Especially I feel like when we're going to bed, because then that's the energy that you're resting with. And I feel like we want to be in Empress vibes when we're getting ready to go, getting into that dream space, so that it's just nothing but just have Empress dreams. There's so many things I'm about to call your title. I'm not gonna have enough space for it, but I feel like if you get in that space of gratitude, even when the changes come through, when we have these harsher energies, because you are in technically probably one of the more harsher seasons for you, considering that you're in your opposite sign right now, or that the energies are in a lot of the planets are moving into the opposite sign of you. But even these lessons, it's like, and we may not be crazy about them, but they are getting you towards your highest good, getting you towards that highest vibration, and that is something to be grateful for. It's those challenges that help us push, because if there was just everything was all easy all the time, then there'd be no progress, because life would just be, it'd be like having like a bunch of like sextiles in your aspects, or having a bunch of trines. It's one of those things you have to force yourself to put in effort, but it's just like, why, if things were easy, why challenge yourself? And not to say you're not going to have a blessed life, but it's just like, are we making the most of all of the abundance that the universe has for you? So that's just something to think about there, Taurus. But let's get some arrow on this and get some details. And we've already seen how abundant you are, King of Pentacles, Empress. You got it. So, and High Priestess, what's good? And I was actually thinking about this earlier, Taurus, because even with this full moon lunar eclipse, we're sure, eclipses can bring about change and things, and they might be a little tough sometimes. Technically, the moon is exalted in your sign. So, because our ruler, because my sun sign's in Cancer, the full moon after our sign, the moon loves kicking it in your sign. She and we got Cancer and Venus, we got a good relationship too. So I feel like this is one where this full moon can make up for this energies here. Bring about the changes that you want to have there, Taurus. But it's that mindset that makes a really big difference, and it makes your thoughts become things. Thank you. But let's see what's going on here, Taurus. Abundance. Told you. Because look at that. Big Papa Jupiter's here. The High Priestess, the Six of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords here, Taurus. And so, meditate on this. That how blessed you are, Taurus. And I get it. Especially if we're going through hard, kind of like harsher energies right now. Maybe we're kind of stuck in a tough cycle. I get where that's being hard, Taurus. And I'm not diminishing what you're going through even a little bit. But if we can try, if all we do is just focus on the negativity all the time, and that's all there's going to be. Because I'll tell you what, even you can have the world, Taurus, and still, but if you're in the negative space, it still won't matter. There was a period of time when I was kind of coming out of the work deeper end of like a depressive type of state, but things were overall, if you were to just kind of look at my life, everything was perfect. Like, yeah, I really had no complaints. But I remember really a distinct moment when I was kind of sitting out. This was in Colorado, and I was sitting out on the porch, and I remember, I was still smoking cigarettes at the time, and I was like, I remember just kind of looking out and just thinking, just like almost this energy of just like really just kind of disgusted. The sun was rising, and I was just like, ugh, and really just kind of fed up. And when I think back on that, it's just like, man, like that's where Jupiter comes in. He can give you all the abundance all day, but if there's something that's out of balance here, it doesn't matter. You don't see it. You don't really get to appreciate all the beauty that is around you. And I'll tell you what, there were times that I wish I would have appreciated that time a little bit more than where I'm at now. But you know what? Even though my situation is not quite maybe as extravagant as it was then as it is now, I'm more grateful now than I was then, and that just makes the world more beautiful. And I feel like that's what this blessed day is trying to get you to, if you do find yourself in that type of energy there. What you give, saying abundance and things, and getting in those kind of like positive affirmations and stuff, what you give out to the universe, you will get back. And then it just helps you, it helps you kind of find this state of emotional balance, even in all of the fluctuations and the changes that are coming through. Because the high priestess, yes, she's about intuition and things, but I'm feeling more of her, because she's represented by the moon. And the moon, let me tell you, being ruled by her, she does a lot. She's a very busy luminary. She's waxing and waning, staying in, it'd be kind of nice to really get to enjoy a zodiac sign for even like Venus almost stays about 28 days or so in a sign, but the moon 2.5 days, and then we're moving. She keeps it moving. And so, and you really are with being with Jupiter energy in your sign and Uranus. It's changes, and it's. But what I'm getting at with that, it's I feel like it's finding that emotional balance in all of the changes, and that's where the abundance really comes from, because it's like with the Wheel of Fortune. It's not about just kind of just riding that wave back and forth. It's just like it's finding that peace no matter what the waves are doing. Let them, when they're crashing over you, okay, this is a lesson coming in. But when the seas are calm, it's just like, okay, now we're in this great energy. It's feeling this stuff out a little bit different. It helps us, because the Wheel of Fortune and the World card can kind of be this sort of like cyclical type of energy, and possibly potentially being stuck in things. So this is just to help you kind of deal with all the changes in life, and then how we can creatively kind of get through this stuff. Maybe we need different tactics. Maybe I remember Buddy would post sticky notes all over his bathroom mirror, different positive affirmations, or however this may be looking. Maybe you're starting off in the day, maybe your phone's giving you an alert before you even got a notification waking up, hey, beautiful, like this is what's going on, Empress, like little things like that, Taurus. So, alright, hopefully that made sense there, Taurus. I dig that. Look at, seriously, you really are. I mean, come on. Sun, Wheel of Fortune, King of Pentacles, Empress. If this ain't abundance, Taurus, I don't know what is. Now, let's get some tea, and then let's talk about, speaking of Saturn, let's talk about Pisces energy. Because you have Saturn that's getting ready to go direct, and then you have Neptune that's retrograde in Pisces for just a little over a month. But a little over a month now. But Saturn is going to go direct on the 4th of November, and then we're just going to Saturn's going to be chilling in Pisces for the next few years. We're going to be talking about Saturn and Pisces for a minute. But with this energy, this is about really kind of focusing on deepening a spiritual understanding and seeking a higher purpose on this journey here. You know, really kind of connecting with your high priestess energy there, Taurus. And keep in mind too, you are a very intuitive sign, Taurus, whether you realize it or not. You know, because to be, again, when I was talking about you being a sensual sign, you know, yours is, I feel like, one, you know, people consider Taurus like the slowest moving sign, but I feel like because of how sensitive you are to this realm, you do need to move a little slower in order to appreciate all the things that, you know, to appreciate all the beauty and really kind of feel how the energies are shifting in a way, because you don't become the divine counterpart to the high priestess for no reason, because the high priestess husband is the hierophant. And it's how I feel like your energies, how you're sensitive to the energies. Yours is on a more physical way, because that's why I feel like Cancer and Taurus get along so well, because you know yours is on a more physical aspect, where Cancer's is on a more emotional aspect. But the stimulation, because we feel so much, you know, emotionally, and you feel so much physically, you know, it's that same type of deal. And I feel like that's where that understanding kind of comes in, so you really can figure out, tap into your, because that really gives me like a Queen of Pentacles vibes, how she works with the energies, and she can kind of feel out like the, I hope that makes sense. But you are a very intuitive sign there, Taurus. So that's really something to make the most of that. Connect with your higher self, but and pay attention to things that really kind of like overwhelm your senses. But you may also notice too, you may have trouble setting emotional boundaries, just because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter but also by Neptune, which Neptune is beautiful dreamy energy, but she has no boundaries. And so that may be a little something trickier that we energy to be working with, Taurus. And then also you may feel a sense of duty towards your family, friends, loved ones, the community. Just because, again, Pisces is a very compassionate sign. They have this universal love for all things. So you may feel a little more compelled towards that, of like a really kind of just a deep calling there. And now, depending on, now again, you know, time of birth you're going to need, as far as like, you know, for where Neptune is, how, if she's forming any aspects with your signs or not. But Saturn is retrograde back to the 0 degree now, and is getting ready to go full swing here, and he's about to commit. Because you know, again, retrogrades are about energies of reflection. But depending on where these placements are at, this is forming a sextile with your sign. And sextiles after trines are very easy energy, very flowing, you know, can bring about good fortune, but it's kind of passive energy, and it's, you know, not as dynamic. And this one, you know, Neptune is more of a neutral energy, depending on who you ask. Neptune can be a tricky one, but it's more of a neutral energy. But Saturn is a malefic planet. So this one may be, even though it's an easy flowing sign, it might be tough. You know, actually I'll talk about that next. But yes, that's what you got going on with that, Taurus. But let's get an oracle on this. Get some more details on it. Oh, and a lot of this going around, Taurus. I feel the Soul Tribe is traveling, because you got the Safe Travel card here, Taurus. And, you know, with this card, I do feel like for some, if you are thinking about going on this travels here, you know, Three of Wands can be like a card of travel. You know, this can be like, because usually there's like these boats, and on some more modern ones you may see some planes and things. So maybe some of us are thinking about moving, but this could even be, again, like maybe even like getting outside more and things like that, but on a different type of scale. You know, this bird. This is an Arctic tern. And if I'm wrong, I have to double check this. I almost feel I read where the Arctic tern has the longest migratory pattern of any sort of avian animal, and I feel like it's, you know, so it's seeing the world, and it's seeing it in all its beauty and all this change, where the things have been hurt, you know, where it's like, you see how it's flying over this, like this, we'll call it a tidal wave or tsunami or whatever. And I feel like it's like learning to see things from a higher perspective, than that blessed day. When we're in that energy of gratitude, then we're able to see stuff even when we're going through. We may see this tidal wave and it's bringing about this destruction, but now it's like, what can we fill in this space with now? What beauty can we build up from this? It doesn't have to just be all wreckage. We have to. The thing about this world is, it's like we constantly undergo change, and again, you being a sign that is about, that builds things and grows things with the Empress. Has like, what can we grow from the adversities that we do face there? Because I love, I've been talking about this too, because they've been kind of coming up a little bit, but when the tower pops up, I love the relationship, because the tower is Mars and Venus being the Empress. I love that relationship because Tower goes through and brings destruction and chaos and things to those outdated systems, so that again the Empress can bring about beauty and bring like all these flowers on these cards, and and growth, and a newer solid foundation there. And this could even be too a card of kind of journeying within, tapping into that high priestess energy, meditating on this wheel of fortune, kind of more spiritual energy. What ways can we expand and grow? And but let me get some tarot on this. Alright, Taurus. Oh, and there's that death card. It's change. So you got, well, so clearly, you got the death card, you got the Fool, you got the Five of Pentacles, and then you got the Ace of Pentacles here. And let's talk about the Five of Pentacles, because this is one of your cards. This is Mercury and Taurus. And sometimes I feel when, especially if we've not been feeling this sense of gratitude, or we've been operating in this lack mentality, that can keep us in that lack and prevent us from planting new seeds of growth and of change, and can keep us from jumping into new opportunities. There can keep us stuck. But I do feel like that this death card is asking you, because Scorpio energy, you're the only one, I think, so far. There may have been one other sign that's gotten the death card so far. And so I really feel like that the fact that your opposite sign is here, that's popping up, that change, death card, change, there is a lot of energy of you're thinking about how you're going to, or how not even you're going, not how you want to evolve. Because the Five of Pentacles too can be just a card of just kind of feeling alone in this, or just feeling on this sort of, that something is lacking, something is missing. And again, with this knowledge, maybe there's something that we need to learn, a way that we need to grow, or a skill that's needing to unlock in order for us to take this new step. And I like this too, that you got the World and the Fool, because now it's like, what cycle needs to close out, and so that we can begin something new. Travel to, maybe we're thinking about moving to a new place, needing to change locations. Maybe we need to, whatever this is, Taurus. But with the aces, this is your divine materials here. You're being presented a golden opportunity here to begin anew, to really, I feel like, kind of manifest your heart's desire here. And we may feel like that there are certain things that we're missing, but it's just like, okay, we know what we're missing. So what, instead of focusing on what we're missing, what do we have at our disposal right now, so we can build off of that. When I started this channel, I had just like this little skinny table that I was working on, and I had like, you should have seen it. The setup was just insane. I don't even know if I still have a picture of it, but I actually managed to get a picture of where one of the cats was sitting in my chair. It was really funny. But I had to post that background where I had the one of the world. I had that thumbtacked on the wall. It was a whole wild setup there, Taurus. But I could sit there and focus on what I didn't have and just not start the channel, or it's just like get this puppy going, and then as I get things figured out, I'll get it figured out. And that's why I feel like this energy is just like, kind of riding the wave right now. I'm seeing things from a higher perspective. I may not have what I need at this moment, but I will get this thing figured out. So yeah, just something to ruminate on. Alright, Taurus. Let's get a little more tea and let's talk about this last energy. Oh, actually, let me light my candle real quick. The candle went out. Bam. Alright, Taurus. Now let's talk about Capricorn. Because you got Pluto that's going to be in Capricorn until Aquarius season, January 20th of 2024. And with this energy, Taurus, when the outer planets move, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, when they make a move, yeah, we feel it on an individual level, but this really does affect the globe in a very strong type of way. We all feel that shift. When there was stuff when Pluto went direct, that was a hot mess. That was a hot mess for everybody. That was everyone I talked to went through something or was going through something. It was wild, and Pluto doesn't play around. When with Pluto being in Capricorn, this can lead to shifts in power dynamics. Because we're going towards it from this sort of like ambitious, kind of corporate, authoritarian type of energy that Capricorn brings, kind of this boss energy to this sense of more now, once he moves into Aquarius, we're getting into this kind of more future thinking, more innovative, more humanitarian, egalitarian type of energy that Aquarius brings. And it's going to be a whole different ball game. That's why all this change now, there's a need to be adaptable and kind of do this reflective work right now, the safe travel, learning a lot of things, tapping into our creativity, learning this gratitude, because we're going to need it. We're going to need empresses, and we're going to need there's going to be a lot of opportunities for abundance, because a lot of space is getting ready to is going to feel like a lot of vacuums are getting ready to form, and it's just like, how do we fill those voids when that does happen, Taurus? Because there's going to be a break. You want to talk about a tower, death cards, there's going to be breakdown of outdated systems all over the place. And I mean, it's already started, Taurus. I mean, you've noticed this, and it's only going to keep going. And you may notice too that there's this height, because Pluto deals with power, and things, and there might be this energy of like a sense of more responsibility towards like societal and kind of global issues. Because Taurus, I mean, this, and I've been talking about this with just the brand, like from Lyft drivers to friends to just strangers. It's, this world is unbalanced. It's very unbalanced, but it doesn't need to just stay like that. I feel like we're getting in this place where for a while we were just sort of like, well, whatever, the leaders of things will get everything figured out, and we can just kind of sit back and whatever, that's just the world is. But I feel like that there's about to be this, a push for this change, and like a real kind of noticeable thing. It's kind of small right now, but it's growing, and it's exciting, Taurus. But one more thing with this energy, just depending on where your placements are at, and again, Pluto only retrograded up to the 27th degree before he went back, but this, depending on where your placements, this is forming a trine with your sign. And trines, again, they're very fortunate, very fast moving energy and things, but it's Pluto, so it's going to be tough. I had a Pluto aspect, and he's actually getting ready to hit my moon placement again once he goes into Aquarius next year. And where it was beneficial overall, things happen fast, and overall it was worth it, but I did not see it how it happened. I did not see it coming. So that's those malefic planets, you gotta love them, but they bring about change. And I'm excited. It's going to be a blessed day, Taurus. But let's get your last oracle card here. Let's see what's going on. And you know, even if you don't believe it, you know, your blessed day might be laced in sarcasm sometimes. But you know what? At least it gives you a chance to laugh about it, and that even can help you raise your vibration, even if just a little bit. You know, it's those little victories that add up to that big victory overall. You know, and get you to really feeling that abundance down the line. So. That's funny. Thank you. I love it. We just did it, Taurus. See, we're already ahead of the game. Because you got the castaway negativity here. So on top of I like that. So on top of your blessed day, we're casting away negativity. You know, it's not, and again, it's not that we're ignoring that. It's not going to take away from the challenges. But if we just stay in this negativity, just everything sucks in that vibration, then that's just where it's going to be. But it's just like, okay, what is this situation trying to teach me? You know, what am I trying to learn from this? That really can help you grow a lot faster, I feel like. So I made a mistake not too long ago, and that cost me something. It cost me, but it was I'm learning from it. It was one of those things that I could let that keep me down, and just focus on, like, you know, just kind of stay in that, just sort of like that headspace of what would have stalled my growth. And it's not to say I'm not happy about what I did, but it's just like, okay, now how can I body that Empress energy and be better for the next, so that situation doesn't happen again, you know. And then we're casting away that negativity, and we're embracing more positivity, and taking that as a learning experience, you know, because that's all this life does, is bring us just like different learning experience. And it's just like taking the knowledge that you get from these experiences and allowing them to help you grow and help you expand, help you really embody that Empress energy, so that you can keep spreading that abundance. Ace of Pentacles, planting seeds and growing, and then just more abundant. It helps your health, helps your mental health, your physical health, spiritual health, all of that, Taurus. And then it makes the change just that much easier, you know. Now let's get your last oracle card here. Libra. Look at that. Balance, harmony. And that's something too, you know. Let me see what you got here. Okay. Love it. So you have the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Wands, the Strength card, and then the Justice card here. You have Leo and Libra. Let's switch back over. Because with this energy, Taurus. I love that Venus in Libra. You know, this is, I feel like it's, you know, that negativity, that's the stuff that weighs you down, I feel like, with this Ten of Wands being here. And it's paying attention to, you know, and I feel like something too, when we're setting these intentions, Taurus, and we're thinking about this positivity, this mindset, getting in that routine with the Eight of Pentacles here, it's not about focusing on what you don't want. Because the universe is tricky like that, you know, like, it's like you want to state what you want. It's like, well, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, you know, like, it's just like we're still staying in that vibration, as opposed to, like, let's say, like, I don't want to, let's say I don't want to keep failing, for example. Instead of switching up the mindset as far as, like, I'm going to succeed. You know, like, it even, like, you see how that even just changing that verbiage can make, because it's like, I don't want to fail, you know, or I don't want to fail, you know, like, you see, even that's hard to even lift up, where it's like, I'm going to succeed, and you're like, I'm going to succeed. You, like, you know, like, it's different. That one was a weird one, but I know that could have been a better example, Taurus, but I feel like it's being very intentional. It's finding that balance, that cause and effect. But I feel like it's more so like when you find yourself in that negativity, how can we balance that with the positive so that we can keep that self-esteem up, keep that self-confidence, keep that drive, keep that strength. Because this realm is going to challenge you, Taurus. Challenges us all the time, but it's not, again, meant to keep you down. It's meant you to handle your strength and face it with perseverance, with tenacity, and you get back up again. You know what, you do like kind of what the lions do, what the cat, you lick your wounds, you reflect, and then you get back on that, you get back at it. You try to do better than you were yesterday, than you were an hour ago, than you were 5 minutes ago. It's all about just keeping that growth, and then this world can become less burdensome. It become less heavy, and then it becomes more brighter and more. Then we're channeling that energy a lot differently. It's like we're raising our vibrations through the roof, and so think about the things you wish that you want to improve, Taurus. And what you want to learn, and what practices you want to get into, what more, what routines, what healthier routines we want to get into, so that we're not working as hard with this journey. It's like we're working, but we're working smarter, not harder than. So I like that, Taurus. I really don't know what I'm going to call your video, because I really just like I love that Empress 101 with the Empress. I'm not sure. I think that's the one that's going to be. That's the nature of my problem. But Taurus, if you like that video, give it a thumbs up, because I like how this is. I feel like I like where the energies are going for Scorpio season. I feel like if we embrace this change as a soul tribe, the energies are leaning toward, because seriously, there's been nothing but Empress and just like abundance. I really like it. And share this, Taurus, if you know someone who's been needing to, maybe like, that's been looking for a change, that's been maybe feeling kind of stuck in a cycle and just like ready to get out of that. Share this video, Taurus, and then subscribe. I don't know. If I had $1 for every time that I said this, I wouldn't need this side gig. But subscribe there, you Empress. Hit that bell button, get notified on all these videos each week. And then lastly, look at you got you got our ruler there. But if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rise, or you just want to come kick it over there, Taurus, because I tell you what, every Taurus I've ever met, I love. I love them. It doesn't matter. Come on over to the Sheridan Friends. What I do over there. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time, Taurus. You can meet Rhonda. It's lunar shenanigans. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Taurus. And you got the Knight of Swords here. Facing adversity. Going through this change. And you know what? I feel like the Knight of Swords is a very fast-moving knight, and sometimes he likes to just kind of keep it moving, in a sense, but he has troubles reflecting. He's so future-driven that he doesn't learn from the past in order to correct his stuff for the future, then be present with those things that he needs to reflect on. So you can kind of slow down a little bit if we've maybe been sort of like rushing things and maybe been feeling like a little anxious and stuff, and, just, don't be. I feel like it's not like Knight of Swords. He sometimes, I feel like, on a lower vibration can run away from his problems in a sense. He just doesn't want to deal with them. It's just like, I'll just figure it out. But then he keeps making the same mistakes, and so I feel like it's something to kind of be just very mindful and very intentional with what we're doing during this season. And that's where I feel like it's just like we're not just accumulating knowledge. Now we're turning it into wisdom. So just something to consider there, Taurus. Now let's get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Ooh. It's throwing cards all over the place. Taurus, you know how it is. Yeah. Right, thank you. Interesting, Taurus. So you got the never-ending story here. And that's what I was talking about with the Knight of Swords. Is that if you find yourself, or if you've noticed that you've been in a loop here, Taurus, it's just been the same story over and over and over again, then that is a sign that something needs to change. You know, if you're just living in Groundhog Day, I just got even a little bit chills just thinking about it. You know, it's just like, you know, and it's like just paying attention to the narrative that we're telling ourselves. And I like this too, even just looking at this figure here, how they have this mirror here. You know, there's this, it's just like looking, if you find yourself it's stuck in that space, that might be something you need to do. Take a long, hard look in the mirror, and what is it that we're doing? You know, what is it that's keeping you stuck in the cycle, if that's something that's happening, so that we can break this mold and really start growing, start expanding there, Taurus. So I like it. I think I'm gonna leave that there, Taurus. So you stay safe out there with all this growth and knowledge and learning. I like this, Taurus. I really feel like it's like we're learning from our change here, and it's I dig this. This is fantastic. So I'm really excited for you during this Scorpio season. And you raise your vibration absolutely through to Venus. To Venus, to Jupiter, to Saturn. Let them all know. Taurus is bringing in change. You better watch out. We're changing the narrative of this story here. Empress 101. 101 with the I think that's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, it's time to. I'm gonna make that more elegant, Taurus. I promise. And all that housekeeping. And I will catch you. Jeez. On the next one. Get out of here, Taurus. Later.